off. I usually sit there.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Switch spots was just because it felt funny to me.
Okay. Okay.
Might be a little off kilter, but personally that never bothers me. Kind of makes me laugh. Because we're a little off kilter.
We've kind of coined that. I think on Instagram. Center day. It's just always like.
Right. It's just part of our. It's part of our charm.
It's part of our gimmick. It's always
Exactly. Oh boy. Okay.
Almost there. And
Okay. Make sure. Yeah, I'm gonna get Spiderman loaded on
oh, Spider-Man.
IMDb.
Do you want me to load that up?
You can. Yeah, I'll just want it loaded on my phone too, just in case, because Paula's beautiful face is kind of in front of the TV, which is fine, because personally I'd rather look at that, but, you know.
Am I in front of the TV?
Well, from my point of view.
I totally am.
But again, I prefer that.
Okay.
Everybody's phones are silencioed. Let me make sure mine's on silent.
Mine's on
vibrate.
Gawa.
Super loud.
It's on
The
extra.
highest vibrate I can
Extra loud.
It's the vibrate that gets me wet.
Is it the moaning ringtone where you get a text message and your phone just goes,
Then my vibrate.
or is it the one that goes, oh, fuck. Oh, fuck.
fuck.
Oh, fuck. God, I wish I could
Just
walk
moaning,
this
though.
motherfucking chair.
I want the latter that. The "oh fuck" should just be a ringtone, and then that should just definitely be text message notification.
Yeah.
Maybe an email.
The little shorter thing.
Yeah, just like, it's a very breathy notification sound.
Vinegar stroke.
Oh, good God. Okay.
We're really giving a lot of OnlyFans content away for free right now.
That's just a tease.
Just a teaser.
Okay.
All right. Well, if you guys are ready, someone just needs to count me in.
Yeah, I got you. Ready in 3, 2.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to another Brewnomics podcast, the podcast about beer, pop culture, and other shit. Fuck you, Paula. He heard it. He heard the fumble. I was like, should we start over? We're already going live, so.
Well, I heard it, but I just like look somewhere else. Somewhere else.
That's what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to chuckle at your friend's face about his mess up. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. As always, this is our first episode back from a few-week break. And we're just going to kind of be talking about what we watched during then, if you should watch it or not. And then at the end, talk about our thoughts on the biggest movie craze right now, which is Spider-Man No Way Home. I'm Jerry.
I'm William.
I'm Vic.
I am Paula.
Yeah. Glad to have you guys back. And for those listening or watching, thanks for spending the day with us. We really appreciate it. It's nice to see you again. Metaphorically.
It's a one-way mirror that we have.
It is. It is. All right, as always, let's drink some beer. It's still winter, so we're going to keep going with the winter theme because it might be past Christmas, but it's even colder than it was during Christmas, it seems at least. We're going to start with a classic from Widmer Brothers Brewing, the Burr Hoppy Red, a Northwest Red Ale. I love this beer. It's one of my favorite beers of the season. I love that it's winter that's a red, because you don't see that very often.
It's true.
No. Looking forward to this. I usually end up like passing this over for something else, and I never know why. I always do that. So I'm eager to try it again.
Probably because it's Widmer.
Maybe.
Which I like, but the fact that they have sold out makes it
Yeah.
quote unquote whatever you want to say. So I know we tend to go with other beers, but no, I like this one. This beer, I don't know, has a special place in my heart. Special place in Paula's heart. Special place in our butts. And now we're going to drink it. It's weird to me that we haven't had this one on the show. Like during the winter, sometimes we'll duplicate beers or seasonal beers in general just because, companies will do a different variant than last year or whatever.
Yeah.
This one pretty much stays the same. It's just a seasonal.
Yeah. On Untapped, it comes in at 7.2%. 59,000 check-ins with 39,000 ratings. It says, and it's yelling at me because everything is written in all caps.
Please don't yell when you read the description.
No, I won't. I mean, I could, but I won't. It says, warm up with a cold one or two. Our winter red ale is the perfect treat, naughty or nice. The deep red body fills your glass, and a citrusy hop aroma fills your nose. Then caramel and chocolate malts reward you with a perfectly balanced malty sweet flavor and velvety finish.
Nice. So I think I've told this story, but I'll tell it again because this is the first time we've had the beer on the podcast. Paula and I were out, I think maybe with a few other friends, but we're at a local dive bar playing some pool, just bullshitting or whatever. And I was like, I'll get us a pitcher of beer. Paula, what do you want to drink? And this is, we're again just barely discovering like our beer palates. Normally our pitchers were, fucking Michelob Ultra or something like that, Blue Moon, whatever. Coors, whatever. Just
Rolling Rock.
not good stuff. But it's like, I don't know, just a burr. He says it just like that, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. He's walking up, and there's literally this beer, which is BRRR, and it just cracked me up. So I'm like, well, obviously that's the pitcher. And I went to Paul. I was like, did you know there's a beer called Burr? No. I was like, all right, we're about to fucking try it. And we both loved it. Yeah. I think it was absolutely phenomenal, but that just always cracks me up that it's literally because of that, because Paula was just saying it silly, and it happened to exist at the same space and time as us at that moment.
My first craft beer.
Yeah, pretty much, really. First one that meant anything. Probably the first one.
Yeah. I think you had some before me, and that's when you were getting into it. And then we would just go out and drink. You're like, you should try this.
Yeah, and mine was Drop Top, really, which was the first one that really left an impression on me. I don't know if it was the first craft beer I drank. I think I might have tried like Fat Tire or something before that when I really didn't like it. But the first one I tried that I was like, beer could be like good. It was also Widmer. So, I like them.
Good on you, Widmer. Yeah.
Anyways, 4.0 for this beer. Fucking love it.
Agreed. 4.0 all the way. This is delicious. It's warm and caramely, but it has that nice hoppy, bitters to it that, I shouldn't say like just regular bitters. It's the hops give it a robust, round feel.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Like bitter is a good word for it, but in a very positive way, which is a hard word to use positively.
It is. Yeah, because most of the time, you're thinking of, Karens or something.
Yeah, your feelings towards your parents or something. I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
Just bitters.
Never took me to Disneyland.
Your ex, right? I just saw Universal Studios, and I'm like, man, never went to anywhere like that. Now I'm bitters.
I'm bitter.
Bitters. Goodness. No, this is a 4.0 for me as well. It's nice. It gets that dry sort of. I get a little bit of dryness to it in my mouth.
Yeah.
But it's the kind that keeps you coming back for more, and I just get that nice malt forward that most red ales have. So this is a very welcome change from what I've been drinking. So yeah, 4 on me as well.
I love this beer. It's like Jerry said, there's a very special place for this beer in my heart and in my whole. 4.25. It blends very well. I love the dry bite that Vic was saying. It's very prominent and it's pleasing.
It is. It's weird to get a winter red.
Yeah.
You don't really see that. And the fact that it's nice because I know in this group we all like reds, but you have one during the winter you can look forward to, which is usually the time you're just absolutely not going to see them. So it's nice to have one. And it's one that seems right during the winter. It's got a nice little like winter spice to it or something.
Yeah, there's probably some kind of spice in there a little bit. I don't know. Let me go back for more.
Great beer. Get it if you see it around while you still can. It's going to start disappearing.
Stock up.
Yeah.
Send some our way.
All right, let's get into it. So I guess before we get into Spider-Man, let's just kind of catch up. We had fucking almost a month off or so. So what have you guys been watching, reading, playing, doing? And bonus to each one, I know we probably won't for most of this stuff. We're not going to get into spoilers on anything. would you want to do a podcast episode on it or not? If you say yes, it does not at all mean it'll happen. Just like, if there were times, sure, I would have done one on this. Or no. So, for instance, I'll start. I just watched Venom. Let There Be Carnage.
Was there an Eminem song in that one too?
No.
There was.
Was there?
At the very end again. Yeah.
Huh. It was not a good movie, but I liked it way more than I thought I was going to. It had some pretty decent scenes in there. I do not like the voice of Venom. I don't really like Tom Hardy's character choice as Venom, or the way or Eddie Brock rather. But it's still every now and then it has its charm. Had some good action.
I also caught this one over the break.
Yeah, zero plot or motivation, really, or reason behind anything. I would not want to do an episode on it, but I wasn't mad that I watched it.
How was Woody Harrelson?
Not great as Carnage.
I mean, he did what he could with the character, but again, they gave him no motivation, no reason really to want to go against Eddie Brock or.
And in my opinion, Woody did not bring any kind of serious sinisterness to it. I never felt like Cletus Cassidy was this deranged serial killer.
Sure.
Ever.
Which is fair, but like I said, if you want to watch it, I would wait till it's on a streaming service.
Yeah.
And just going with low expectations, expect a few decent scenes, and ultimately pretty forgettable.
The best parts, I think, were definitely the kind of odd couple scenes between Eddie and Venom.
Yeah, they're fine.
Yeah.
But let's not get into spoilers or anything too deep into the movie. But yeah,
No, that's all I was going to say.
I watched it. Guess Will watched it. I'm saying watch it if you want.
I always found Venom, that movie, the first one at least, I haven't seen the second one, too cheeky. Like what Will was saying, the whole odd couple thing. I wasn't into that. I mean, I like parts of it, but it was too let's be funny. Make a joke. Make a
Or
joke.
lean more into it.
Go all the way.
Go all the way
BFF,
if you're
yeah.
going to do it. I'm right there with you, Paula. Yeah. I was like, this would work for me if you stirred into it. But you didn't. You just tried to almost take yourself seriously, but add an aspect to camp, and it just... Anyways, moving on.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Interesting.
Yeah. Someone else? What else? Who else got a thing?
I'll go Deuce.
Okay.
I had my vacation, number one, so I had time to just watch things.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. And you got snowed in, so you couldn't fucking go
'Cause I
anywhere.
have a toy car. I couldn't fucking go anywhere, dude. That's it's snowing. I guess I'm fucking walking.
Car's not meant for the snow.
My car, no. No. I guess 45 in the city. In the city.
Great gas mileage. Not meant for snow.
Not meant for snow. No. I watched the Cowboy Bebop live action on
Okay.
Netflix.
Oh, how was that?
Yeah.
I very much enjoyed it.
I
It was a lot of fun.
I watched it
Okay.
as well, man. Yeah,
You liked it too, Vic?
I did. Yeah.
Nice.
What'd you think?
Nice. I loved it. It was super cheeky. They just leaned into it.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know,
Oh, they did. Okay.
Full on, just DFFE.
Yep.
And the characters were great. The storyline they were pushing for heart, but it was too, you couldn't take it seriously, but you're like, I'm feeling for this character, though.
Yeah, I thought John Cho did an amazing job overall. Spike Spiegel is just sort of keeping all the storylines kind of working out.
His name's Spike Spiegel.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's a
dope.
bounty hunter.
Yeah, he's a cowboy. Yeah.
Cowboy.
Bebop.
Bebop's the name of the ship. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it was pretty true to form the way the anime works. And I was pretty happy with it overall.
Super campy.
Yeah, super
I think
camp.
if you like Doom Patrol, I think you would like at least Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, okay.
I was thinking about giving it a shot just because I saw a few interviews with John Choi just popping up on YouTube, wired here and thither and whatever. I love John Choi. I think Choi. Just giving the dude an extra letter in his name. Sorry. I think he's super funny. He seemed very passionate about this. He
It's
was
heartbreaking,
all
yeah.
in. And he's
And he
definitely
got ripped for it too, I guess.
Oh, yeah,
My
he looked good.
understanding.
He looked
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah.
It looked way good. Put in some time.
Yeah, weird they canceled it, man, because it got some people didn't like it, but there's always going to be that. On the internet, you only hear about people that really like things or really don't like things. The people that were just like, yeah, it's fine. That's what it is. It's cool. Yeah. They're not going to go on and tweet about it or anything. I saw a change.org, so 150,000 signatures to renew it or something. Change.org petition.
Is that what they needed to
Who fucking knows?
It helps.
I don't
we
know.
got the Snyder
Like
fucking Justice League.
exactly. If you get enough fans to go in, they'll have to kind of do it.
If
But
there's enough outcry, they'll figure it out. But yeah,
I don't think I would. I would do a show with like Vic maybe. I mean, whoever else wants to watch it. But I would totally do one with Vic. But overall, if you don't feel like watching it, we don't need to do a show.
I mean, if you're not, it's
but you liked it enough to where you'd give an hour episode to
Dude,
it. Cool.
I
Cool.
rewatched the season, the one season twice.
Good enough for me.
I liked
you
it.
did
I
two
love
times.
the anime. So
nice. The music's phenomenal. Yeah.
oh, it's beautiful.
All right. Why don't you two bring us something?
I'll list off a couple things here that aren't really all that great, and then
High hopes.
All right.
I've just been going back through the television show Fringe with my wife. I love that show. It's been enough years have passed that it was time to revisit it again from when we watched it live.
J.J. Abrams.
And it holds up. It's hilarious. So that is actually one that is worth kind of looking into. Again, it's too old, so we're not going to do a show on it. Foundation on Apple TV. If you're into really heady sci-fi stuff, give that a look. But I'm not gonna.
that one.
Never even. Yeah.
No. Okay. They put a lot of money into this.
I feel like
that show.
Apple TV's put so much money into acquiring things for people who have only heard of Ted Lasso.
Probably. Yeah.
Go up to anybody and be like, name 2 shows on Apple TV. They'll say Ted Lasso and
That video game one with Rob.
fuck
Charlie
no.
Brown.
No, but it has to be like an original, right?
Right, yeah.
No, yeah.
Yeah. So
I want to watch that one with Tom Hanks and the
I
robot.
did watch that one. What's the name of that one? Damn it.
I don't know, some kind of chappy.
No, it was way better than that.
How was it? Was it good though?
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
It
I
was
really
a
want to watch it.
phenomenal
It looks
movie.
super fun.
Yeah. God, what's the name of that? Oh, well, sorry. Moving on.
Dead air.
Anyways, we'll get back to it.
Yeah.
We should just do one of those shows. So just like you know what I'm talking about, right? And we're all like,
Yeah. Well, so yeah.
Guess the
moving-
description of the title by a super vague. Yeah,
but then you might get it though. You're talking about fucking Rocky IV, right? I am. I knew that grunt.
Well, moving forward while we do some research here. So the
Finch?
Yeah,
Finch.
That's what it's called. Yeah, that was a fantastic movie. Yeah.
All right, yeah.
That was a fantastic movie.
worked hard for that one.
You did. Yeah.
You earned it.
Way to bring it back. Do
All right.
you still have more you want to talk about? I like that you're just breaking the format right now too.
Sorry, yeah,
You
no,
gotta
I
figure out
totally
Finch.
understand. I know. Don't Look Up on Netflix. I saw that.
That's on my. That's like
Oh,
the
I saw
next
that one.
movie I'm gonna watch.
The airplane one?
No,
No, it's Adam McKay.
No, with Leonardo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got an asteroid falling to Earth, and that was kind of a trip if you feel like being angry at America. You can sympathize with that movie. Otherwise, yeah, I don't want to do a show. But I will.
Well, what'd you think, Vic? You watched that one?
Oh,
I
did you?
fully enjoyed it. Yeah.
Okay,
I think
yeah.
it was a good satire
Yes.
on America. I
Yes.
was not angry at all. I was like, I thought it was very well done. Like
We
very
love Adam
direct.
Would you want to do a show
situation.
on it?
I'd
In your
totally do a
opinion,
show
yeah.
about that.
No, I really want to watch that movie.
It's great,
Oh.
man. It's
I mean, it had
really
good
great.
acting. It made me, mad at Jonah Hill because I'm always mad at that guy in any movie because he's just.
God, he was phenomenal.
Oh,
What do you-
he plays that role though that is you
Like,
want to hate him.
It's funny, like
But
half
he's
his
good
lines
at
are
it.
improvised too, which I
Oh,
thought was
really?
incredible.
Man,
Yeah.
I have mad respect for the guy. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong, but yeah, lately he's been playing a lot of characters that you want to kind of punch in the face, but he does a good job at it.
No, I wasn't mad at him too. In fact, I was digging him pretty hard. It's pretty funny.
Okay, no, I'll go with whatever you had next. That was just listing off a bunch of stuff that I had that I didn't feel like needed any more time than that.
I felt like you needed a voice.
I feel-
and
yeah.
now that you have it, you put it out there.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
Interesting. I moving forward, yeah, I watched The Matrix Resurrections.
That's on my list. Okay,
Yeah, that
Here
was,
we go.
It was unnecessary, but I thought it was fine ultimately. Yeah.
Yeah, again, I agreed. I watched it. I think we all watched that. Not
Yeah.
mad at it.
you got
But-
a little thing going on.
Uh-oh.
So much just.
Some good head, Jerry.
Thank you. Just nothing of that. Like,
huge amount of callbacks were done, and I think a lot of like metaphors, a lot of
They went
perspective,
too
versus
meta.
reality. Like it was just 4 steps deep within itself, which was pretty interesting as a whole. But I just like it got too into itself, I think.
Even the fight scenes and the choreography looked like it was trying to mirror some of the older stuff, because I watched the old ones, and it seemed like the angles were different, but a lot of the moves were similar.
Sure.
For like the fights between the same characters going up against each other again. A lot of the stuff was the same. So a lot of callbacks.
They literally said bullet time. Like Neil Patrick Harris is like, you know what I liked about what you did?
Literally said
Yeah.
bullet time.
Yeah.
Absolutely absurd. That whole, I guess we don't need to get into what happened with the movie, but would you want to do an episode on it?
I'd totally do an episode.
I wouldn't
on it.
mind. It'd be
Because I think
fine.
because we love the Matrix that much, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that one was like video game, or Matrix within a video game within
within
another
the
Matrix going into the real world.
Yeah.
It's hard to really like tease out all the
Dude.
movements there, but yeah, it's like I said, it was unnecessary, but I think it brought sort of a finality to a couple of elements that were not quite wrapped up in the initial trilogy, which was okay.
The other thing is they had, without spoiling anything, so many side conversations between characters in the movie about like, oh, this happened and that's why we're here. And I'm like, I'd much rather watch a movie about that.
Yeah.
Like, give me that movie instead of whatever the fuck this is, because that actually seems like a fun story, or something unique that you could do something fun with. I thought that was strange.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it kind of seemed in a way like, I mean, again, we're going to have to do a whole thing on this, but that Warner Brothers was going to bring back this series, whether or not, the main people that were involved were going to be part of it again.
So much they even said so in the movie.
Exactly.
So I say it sometimes went too meta for me. But I still, again, there were things about it that I enjoyed. It was really cool seeing fucking Keanu and Carrie-Anne Moss together again. Because I like those two a lot. I think they have great chemistry.
Yeah.
So,
It definitely made me realize that Carrie-Anne Moss does a lot of the heavy lifting in the relationship between her and Neo in those films.
Well, kind of just the acting as well, but
Yeah.
that's okay.
So, cool. Great.
let's drink, I suppose, one more beer, and then we'll kind of finish. I guess we can just rapid fire. Much more do you guys? Do you guys have anything else as far as what you watched?
I finished up Hawkeye. We all kind of talked a little bit about that last time, or maybe we did. I don't know.
Yeah, it kind of wrapped up at a time when we did our break, so we couldn't really do an episode on that, but I totally would have. Hawkeye was dope.
Loved
Yeah,
it.
super great.
So mine, I think you watched, Jerry, The Witcher 2.
Witcher season 2?
Yeah.
Yep, I caught up on that. I think Paul had watched season 1 and 2 because he hadn't watched season 1 yet.
Mm-hmm.
What did you guys think of that? And especially you, PK, because if you hadn't seen season 1.
I think going from season 1 to season 2, just right off the bat, really helped me out.
Yeah.
As opposed to these guys who are like, the story was kind of dragging. I feel like what you guys said before in season 2.
Yeah, the first few episodes really lagged on.
Distinctly, the first 4 episodes
Yeah.
have a weird time property to it.
Agreed. Like almost too much build, but the back half, they ended it very strong.
Yeah.
Very strong. So, I still overall really enjoy that series.
was
And
great.
fuck yeah,
Yeah.
I'd do an
Yeah.
Witcher episode.
Totally.
Absolutely.
Totally.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ditto. Awesome. And then I watched, speaking of things that were revisited for nostalgia's sake, I know we're going to be talking Spider-Man here in a minute, but I watched Ghostbusters Afterlife again. And
So I haven't seen that one.
I wasn't mad at it.
So you watched it for the second time?
Yeah, I watched
Oh,
it.
okay.
I watched it in the theaters with my wife,
Uh-huh.
and then now then it came out on digital. I bought it, and I thought it was well enough to purchase after the first.
I plan to watch it. I just haven't. I kind of forgot about it.
I did too.
Totally.
Honestly.
There's a lot of nostalgia, a lot of callbacks in that, but the thing is, like, I wasn't mad at it, and as a huge Ghostbusters fan, I thought it did well.
You are
I'm excited
definitely
where
the biggest Ghostbusters fan in this room. It seems,
Yeah.
my understanding is overall it got good reviews.
Yeah. I'm excited for where it's going to go.
Cool.
I'll say that. We have our 5th member of our show peeking into the door, wondering where we've been. Come here, Evie.
Just don't knock over the camera, honey. All right. Cool. Now I'll give that one a watch.
Yeah.
We'll see if we would do a show or not on it.
Yeah,
I guess you'd probably
let
want
me know.
to.
I would, just because I'll do anything Ghostbusters.
I know. I watched Cobra Kai, of course, season 4.
Oh,
I
me
haven't
too, but-
haven't gotten into it yet.
I love all things Cobra Kai. I would do an episode on every episode.
Dude, I could totally do the same.
I know. Like, I fucking love Cobra Kai so much.
Dude, I got
As
through
soon
that
as it's
in
over,
a
I just
day.
want to just immediately start it over again. Like this
Cobra-
one was
Cobra Kai
really
cast.
fun. Who they brought back again? I'm not going to spoil it. What it looks like they're going to do with the next season. God damn, I love this franchise so much.
Did it get renewed again for the 5th season?
I think
Okay.
so. If not, it will. I mean, it was like
Number one on
number
Netflix.
one for how long after so many days.
Okay.
Another good Netflix one to watch, and I'll keep this one short, Arcane. If you haven't heard about it, it's this animated series. It's only 10 episodes long. They're about 45 minutes, but it's apparently a prequel to the...
It's like a video game, right? Like,
Oh my god, yes. And League of Legends.
yeah.
Which I couldn't even tell you the first fucking thing about League of Legends. But the animation in this is so cool. It's one of the, like, I haven't been this impressed with an animation in a show since, or any animation, not even in a show, since Spider-Man. Like into the multiverse or whatever. Like, it was that cool. The voice acting, the character acting, the story arcs, the story itself, everything is fucking intense. Like, it's good. I highly recommend it. Like, again, I don't know the first fucking thing about League of Legends. Don't give a shit. Not gonna play the game. I don't have time for that. But this is...
What's it like? What's the plot? Can you give me a rough idea? I just don't understand.
Yeah, so essentially, it's definitely kind of post-apocalyptic steampunk. Okay. And it starts in the middle of this war. You can tell where there's a high city and a low city. So you're upper class and lower class, and the upper class tries to block off the lower class. So it's like almost like Hunger Games, but not as like comical with the
drastic.
costumes and shit like that.
Yeah.
But you have, and then you always have like the lower city kind of rebelling against the upper city or whatever. So it just starts essentially with these two little girls running for their lives, one 5 and one 10 or whatever, trying to get away, and then they run into this big giant dude that's beating the shit out of all these, I guess from their perspective, bad guys. Sees these little girls and just kind of takes them under their wing, and then it's just their adventures from there. And I can't really, it's hard to say anything more than that without
No,
getting
that gives me a bit,
spoilery,
yeah.
but it's worth a watch.
I've
And-
heard other people say good things about
Yeah.
this show. So, yeah, you recommending it as well. I will definitely give this a watch. And if you, after that, if you want to do an episode, I'd be down.
I would love to. It almost makes me wish I knew about League of Legends, or I need to find somebody that knows about League of Legends so I can just talk about the show and they can film the game bits for us as we're going along.
It's literally based on the game, though.
It's supposed to be like a prequel to whatever a lot of these characters and
As
shit
far
are.
as I understand, League of Legends is it's a bunch of different characters, aka legends, and this is focusing the backstory on just a couple of them. So I don't think that
It's not the entire
moved.
league.
Yeah.
because apparently
Yeah.
that universe is insane.
Yeah,
Just
there's something
massive.
like 50 different characters in that game or something like that.
How many
I-
leagues are there?
It's legendary.
It's legendary.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And then lastly, I'll finish with Letterkenny season 10.
Oh, I forgot to get to that one.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's great. I watched it super quick because only 6 episodes, fucking half an hour each, not even. I always wish it was more, but I loved it.
Dude, I will always talk about Letterkenny.
Always.
Always.
Yeah.
I need to catch up.
I gotta get to that one. Damn.
Cool. Let's drink a
Pitter
beer.
patter, motherfuckers.
Pitter patter.
Pitter patter.
All right. On to our. This is going to be an interesting one, just because it's a fresh hop. That's a winter ale,
Yeah.
which is strange, and also this one's been out since like October. But it's the Sierra Nevada Celebration Fresh Hop IPA, which is a great beer. I haven't had it this late in the season. This one I think was canned October 21st.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Is that
It's
it?
a late fresh hop. It's still picked from the
Oh,
line.
no, 13th, October 13th,
October
2021. Okay. So, yeah, that's we're pushing them. Let's see the freshnitude here.
Okay. On Untapped, we're bringing in 6.8 ABV with 373,000 total check-ins, which is just a hell of a lot. And looks like almost 208,000 ratings. It reads, "The long, cold nights of winter are a little brighter with Celebration Ale. Wonderfully robust and rich, Celebration Ale is dry hopped for a lively, intense aroma. Brewed especially for the holidays, it is perfect for a festive gathering or for a quiet evening at home."
You know, it's important to... So this is their equivalent of, like, if you ever see the meme of, like, get a girl that can do both. Where it's, like, in her pajamas and then, like, all dolled up like she's going out for a night on the town. This is what they're claiming to be.
This is that
Get
beer.
yourself a beer that can do both.
You got a little bit of mustache foam on you.
Yeah, probably.
I didn't want to say anything because I like looking at it.
Okay. Well, I did want to leave him hanging there. I was like,
It just leaves me with just sensual times.
oh, okay.
I don't even notice anymore.
Yeah, well,
It's like,
yeah, you're on camera. That
Yeah.
can help you out.
it's fine. It's
The
what
man
it
can't
is.
eat whipped cream.
It's
Called a
difficult.
Belgian dip. Oh, man.
What are
This
we
is
talking about?
nice.
Beer.
That's tasty. No, it's smooth. I like
yeah.
it.
It is. It seems very low on the effervescence side.
Yes.
And I don't know if that's because it's a fresh hop that's, 2.5 months, 2 months, almost 3 months out. Shit.
We can say 3.
Which is, might as well be 3 at this point. But no, I'm definitely not mad at it. It's pretty tasty, pretty malty for an IPA, especially for a fresh hop. I'm curious what hop they use. Does it say?
It does not say. It just says it's dry hopped, but yeah.
And wait, so is it dry hopped or fresh hopped?
It's dry hopped.
It's fresh hop supposed to be wet hops.
Yeah, but you can dry hop at the finishing part
That's
of the
true.
beer.
That's true.
You do the wet hops first as it ferments and boils and all that mash and everything, and then you add the dry hops at the end. Gives it a little
You'd
bit
think
more
it'd
of
be
that.
hoppier.
Yeah, there's a lot of malt in this to balance it out. It almost seems like it's a double, but it's not.
Wait, what is it?
6.8 is what we have on Untapped. I don't know if we found it on the can.
Not
Always
that I can
trust the
see.
can.
Do you think we like this because we just had the red,
Yeah,
which is
6.8.
a little malty, and we come to this and like the maltiness isn't like surprising us.
I kind of think so. This almost feels like the bigger brother of the Burr.
Yeah, or like a cousin, like a very close first cousin.
Yeah,
of this
like a-
guy.
Freckled cousin or something. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the Burr's 7.2 and this one's 6.8.
Yeah, ABV super close. The IBUs are about 15 points apart.
They're pretty similar. I like this one. I don't like it as much as the Burr,
Agreed.
Agreed.
but I do still like it. I'd give it a 3.5.
Okay. I go 3.75. Again, I don't like it as much as the Burr, but it's enjoyable.
Yeah, I'd go 3.75 as well. It's enjoyable, but once again, don't like it as much as the Burr.
I think there is a cause to celebrate this beer. They use it while you're partying. I agree with rating wise. I agree 3.75, but there's a brightness to this particular beer that kind of outshines the Burr in my opinion.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
But I love the Burr, so
What was your rating for this again?
3.75.
Okay. All right. Well, one thing about this beer is it's fucking everywhere.
Yeah,
Everywhere.
it's ubiquitous.
So, yeah, you can get a hold of it, and I imagine here in a few weeks when they start to do their changeovers, you're probably going to be able to get a hold of it for real cheap.
Yeah.
Yep. Like $8 a 6-pack.
When I'll be drinking the fuck out of it. I tell you what, I'll be gobbling those motherfuckers up.
Tell me if you get this. It's like the tip of your tongue, but also like the back of your throat a little bit, where it hits like your
Yeah.
uvula. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I just taste it from back there to front.
Huh.
If you know what I'm saying, like
Yeah.
the way it rolls, and I kind of like that. That's the brightness I'm tasting.
Interesting.
Cool.
Yeah, I guess if I'm thinking about the elements of the tongue, it's more or less it's very diverse. in
It's
that
dancing.
sense. Yeah.
It's not a good dancer, but it's a dancer I take
But
home.
it dances with passion. With passion.
I'm getting laid that night either way. By myself.
Good night. Yeah. I'm gonna have fun.
Man, can't not have fun.
No, I get what you mean.
You get that?
Alongside the tongue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to really like move it around a little
Uh-huh.
bit.
But
I
like
see what
the
you're saying.
swallow and taste, I'm all about the burr
Yeah. No, I got you.
because it leaves kind of like an aftertaste, which I kind of wanted to go away.
Yeah, I'm picking up what you're laying down,
Yeah.
man. Yeah. It's heavy.
Cool.
Shall we move on? Anybody
we
need a break? Are you good to push through?
If you want to go like mark the time, we can break.
Yeah, I'm fine.
I just figured, because we're probably going to go into spoilers
Oh yeah.
right away. 'Cause,
Yeah.
you know how we do. I mean, you almost can't not go into spoilers
It's been like
when
how
talking
long
about
since
this
it's
movie.
been out though? And if you're on social media, at least if you have the internet, you probably already know the movie.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
I can't imagine
there
how
are
you
so
wouldn't,
many
right?
People.
So yeah, let's just get into it. Let's get into fucking Spider-Man: Far From Home.
No Way
If
Home?
you guys, yes, correct, different movie. Spider-Man: No Way Home. One of the home. I wonder why they decided to go with the home theme on. It doesn't matter.
It's homie.
It's homie.
Homecoming, yeah, Far From Home, No Way
comfy.
Home. He's just trying to get back home, man. It's hard.
That's it. It's hard. It's hard. Now, should we call it Blowed Up Home? So speaking of full-on spoilers from here on out, we're not going to do a soft spoiler review or anything like that. This is your time. You hath been warned. Spider-Man. Which one is this one?
No Way
No
Home.
Way Home.
No Way Home.
No way home.
Spoilers. And there's no way you're going to avoid spoilers from here on out. So we're not going to apologize. We're going to get into it. We're going to assume that if you're listening henceforward, you hath seen the movie. Okay? And you're going to understand what we're going on, what we're talking about. And I guess that's it. You've been warned. So you have 3, 2, 1. Let's go. I guess first off, how was your guys' theater experience? This is it's huge, right? This is unprecedented since the pandemic's happened as far as, the ticket sales for this movie, but not just that. Before the pandemic, this was the second fastest movie ever to hit $1 billion.
Yep.
Yeah.
Next
Yep.
to what, Endgame or Infinity War, one of the two.
Endgame, yeah.
And it still continues to crush it. So, yeah, how was it when you guys went? What time did you go? How was your experience? Were there a lot of people there? Did they clap and cheer and boo-hoo, yeehaw?
I went in the afternoon on like a Thursday afternoon, probably at like 2 o'clock. And there was still pretty decent size amount of people in the theater, a little more than what I actually would have been comfortable with. But, already paid for the ticket and sat in there. We wore masks. But we were probably the only ones that wore masks.
Yeah, I didn't see a single
there,
man.
There was enough
Well, I
audience
wasn't looking.
participation that I thought it, but there wasn't like anybody like screaming or clapping or cheering, So I don't know. I felt like it was just right. People would laugh at the funny moments.
Did you watch it on a Thursday? So the movie came out just before Christmas, right?
I watched it on the 23rd.
Okay, so pretty fresh.
Yeah.
When
So
out.
it was only out for like six days before that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any of you guys have anything to say about your theatrical experience? When'd you go? What time of day?
I watched it this week on a Wednesday at about 1 o'clock, and I was in a theater that seated about 300. There were 10 people in this theater.
Nice.
So it was just very quiet.
Nice.
That's nice.
Yeah, it was actually a really great experience. I wasn't mad at it. But also there was no really crowd participation. No, it was people were watching the movie. And I was like, cool.
Respect. Yeah. Cool. PK?
I watched mine a couple of days after Jerry.
Mhm.
So you-
When did you see it, Jerry? I don't think you ever said.
I'll talk about it after. Paul.
Whatever. Yeah, you saw like whenever, but like mine was like a couple days after because I had my vacay and my theater was packed. It was like a Tuesday at like 2 p.m. and there were like so many like kids and babies.
Are they doing the discount movies on Tuesdays again, or is that
No. I didn't even
Okay.
think about that, but no, I had to pay
That's
full
a good
price.
point, yeah.
And there was a lot of crowd participation. They loved it. And but there also, there's also fucking babies crying.
Dude, don't take
that's-
babies to a movie.
Come on.
Do not I'll say this now. If you take a baby to a movie, you're a fucking douchebag and a shitty fucking parent. Like
It's just too loud.
and
for
you're
one.
ruining everybody else's experience. Like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of my
Consider,
biggest ones. Like, I want to hit you while you're holding your baby, just so they learn. Like, that is not an okay thing to do. If you can't get a babysitter, guess what? You should have fucking worn a condom.
Yeah. Fucking stay home.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you don't get to
ruin
fucking go to the movies
the
unless you have a babysitter.
yeah.
Prophylactics, people.
Get it together.
Don't ruin our fucking
seriously, don't bring
experiences just
babies to
because
a
you got
theater.
cummed in.
Like,
Or
just do not
convince
do
someone.
Yeah.
It's fucking bitch move. Especially something this loud.
There were like 3 babies in the fucking theater, and I was like, I really just want to throw my shoe at you and your family right now.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Man.
So my experience, I went, I mean, it had to be, I think, the Sunday after it came out.
Okay.
So, because you know how spoilers make me, and I know there's no way with this movie, with the sites I'm on, I'm going to be able to avoid something.
Yep.
So I went that Sunday. It's like 6:30, I think, was the show time. And it was packed. Like, it was also cold as fuck, right? So it was really cool because people were very respectful. You know, there are moments when, like, Andrew came on, or the Daredevil one, we'll talk about that here in a bit, where we're just like, or you're like, yay, but it wasn't, like, obnoxious. You know, it was real quick, and it didn't ruin anything. So I really appreciated that.
Nice.
That's good.
Right. There was one bit where somebody, like, I think the people next to us tried to get in VIP when they weren't in VIP because somebody strolled and like, no, you're in our seats. And I was just like, oh, because they weren't nice about it. And it was like, someone's going to fight. They didn't, though. And I'm kind of glad because that would have been distracting from the movie. And I was right there. I'm like, fight a few seats down from me, not like right next to me.
You would have thrown them off that balcony. That's where the
Fucking
VIP
probably,
is.
dude.
Yeah, fuck you.
Like, don't ruin my movie experience. I hope you land on somebody with a baby.
This is my hat. Totally my hat now.
But so it was a good time. But one thing that I thought was kind of funny, because this is the first time, like, it was packed. There wasn't it had to be sold out or close too. Wow. But there was one moment, you know, it was while they were kind of gathering up their things and doing their signs, it was like, this is my moment to pee. I have to pee so bad. Because obviously I took my flask and drank a few beers before then, which I'm always like, I'm not going to do. I don't want to have to pee during the movie. But then, you know, I'm an alcoholic, so it happens.
Gotta be true to yourself, man.
So I go pee, wash my hands real quick, because even though I didn't want to wash my hands, I just want to get back to them. I'm like, God damn, Corona, motherfucker. I got to run back, and I open the theater, and it was like walking into a fucking locker room. The air was so thick and warm and steaky. I was just like, God, because we'd all just been sitting there in our jackets slowly. You know, nobody wants to unzip and shuffle their jackets off tearing it, but I hadn't had that smell, like, it was
Waft hit you.
visceral. Like, I feel like I was just like, oh boy, that's special. Sure missed that. It was
like a GameStop in
it was
here.
like day 3 of Comic-Con. Just walking.
Oh no.
Yikes.
If you've been, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So
It's pretty spicy.
anyways, short story long. Good experience overall, though.
Okay.
The man enjoyed the movie.
That's gold, man. No. Yeah,
Okay, so yeah, what'd you guys, other than that, I guess, just throw it out there. Thoughts, questions, problems?
I was genuinely surprised by the cameos. I had heard rumblings, you know, like, oh, they're gonna have all the old Spider-Man back, and like the whole, what is it, the kick to the lizard face or whatever. That was like, I saw that and I'm like,
They weren't diverging in one
maybe.
spot; they were all kind of separate.
yeah.
So.
And I was each time it happened, I had to actually give them credit. I was like, they actually did it. Holy crap! Especially bringing Daredevil back.
I did not expect. It's so fucking cool that it was Charlie Cox. God
Yes.
damn, I love him as Daredevil. I love the way they brought him in and just teased it. And I guess they're going to kind of do that, is tease him in a few spots
other-
before they bring him in to a
Excellent.
solo project. But I was about that. And I really wonder going forward what they're going to do, because obviously we got Vincent D'Onofrio back. Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
confirmed Vincent D'Onofrio's in the MCU,
Yeah,
so I guess that
he's
doesn't...
in there.
No, he's totally back. I just was like, that might be a spoiler for something else, but whatever. It's obviously confirmed that Charlie Cox is back.
Yep.
So I wonder what other Defenders characters they're going to bring in.
They have to bring in Luke Cage, man. Michael Coulter. Yeah.
so
yeah.
good at it.
Yeah, but if you have to recast Danny Rand, though. Nobody liked him.
Nobody
Finn
liked
Jones was fucking rancid.
Hot garbage.
As
dude.
but everybody else, for the most part, was cast phenomenally. You have to bring in John Bernal if you do the Punisher again. Like, yeah, Mike Coulter was great. I don't think they would bring Jessica Jones, and I don't think you need that at all, or any of those characters. And that's one that I think, again, you could kind of push off. And I liked, you know, Kristen Ritter as Jessica Jones and some of that, but it's just not. What's it going to do?
The season of that was perfect.
Yeah.
But so just leave it alone.
In the second one. So who knows, man, what they'll do, and I'm really interested to that see what they do there going forward. But yeah, fucking Charlie Cox is back as Daredevil.
Dude, and I am so happy that was not ruined for me in the least. So
Really?
I
Good.
felt really
That was a
good.
big moment, man.
That
And
was
they
a
gave it
huge
to
one.
us quick.
They did, yeah.
I love that how they're like, you're going to need a really good lawyer. I'm wanted for murder. No, it's fine. There's no proof. You're good. Yeah, it's just, no, everybody hates you.
Yeah.
Which,
And,
yeah.
and it makes total sense to have Charlie Cox. He's the people's lawyer, man. He's the lawyer at Hell's Kitchen. So it's like, yeah, way to
I
fucking
love
bring
that.
him
He's
in,
like,
'cause
yeah,
you
I'm
know
a
they
really
don't got
good,
money.
I'm a really good lawyer. And Ham's like, oh, what should I do? You're going to need a really good lawyer.
Yeah.
Hint. He's also a good salesman.
Also, yeah.
But I thought that was crazy because it's the smartest people on the planet. Like Peter Parker's so smart. Doctor Strange is so smart. Like Ned, they're all so smart, but especially Peter Parker and Stephen Strange. And they make the goddamn fucking dumbest decisions, the most ridiculous bullshit. All this happened because he was sad him and his friends couldn't get into college, and he didn't really do anything to try and change it. And then he goes to Stephen Strange, and he was like, "Did you do anything to try and change it?" Like,
He's like, wait, you can do that?
it's one of the.
Like they called it out in the movie.
And it was he's like, I'm
oh.
just going to start this spell, but we're not going to have a conversation of the spell. Or should we have other people? Like, nope, let's just do it. Ah, shit. So, like, Strange tries to sit there and blame Spider-Man. But really, you're just as guilty as Spider-Man because you're a grown-ass fucking man.
Yeah.
Like, and I know you're an arrogant piece of shit. And sometimes we all get that. Like, I have an idea. I'm set on it. I'm just going to kind of push on through. But you're too powerful to do that now, Stephen Strange.
Yeah.
Like, you just can't, like, so much of this shit, I was just
not
like,
the Supreme,
I was
though.
like, what the fuck is happening? Why are all these geniuses being such idiots? But with that, I still loved everything about this movie. It was so good. But there are so many plot points that I'm just like, fuck, come
Yeah,
on.
the main, no, you're right. And speaking to that main premise, I was like, this is happening because he didn't think it through. Like,
Yeah.
he is a teenager.
He is it, but that which I think was a big point of it
Yeah.
was he is a teenager.
Yeah,
Strange, you don't have that excuse anymore.
100%. Yeah.
You've been through too much.
Yeah.
Like you've done too much.
When you can bend reality to your will
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe, did you call him? Did you call him?
Apparently, he thinks that's easier than a conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. it was
I want to bring up what
email.
PK was saying though too, like how he's not the Supreme anymore, which
Yeah.
I think brings a lot of good character development into Wong's backstory.
I thought that was super
truthfully.
cool. Yeah, to see where that goes, especially since now he's the Sorcerer Supreme, and I guess slight spoiler for Shang-Chi, he's going into these underground fights, fighting Abomination as the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah.
Maybe not the most efficient use of time, also, but Wong's a bad boy.
Wong's a bad motherfucker.
Exactly.
Yeah, we won't spoil the entire bit within that of within Shang-Chi because there's a second part to it that makes it even
Yeah,
funnier.
if you haven't watched Shang-Chi, watch that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, dude. The other things with this is, we knew that was it Otto Octavius was coming back, and they were gonna CG his face, and we knew that Electro was coming back, and obviously the Lizard and Sandman, but they actually did get the actors, or at least their likenesses digitally.
Apparently, what I'm hearing, I don't know if this is true or not, but Rice Darby and Thomas Hayden Church were never on set.
They just did the voiceover.
Yeah, they did
Okay.
it was voiceover and reused footage.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Wow.
Right, I think that's
Crazy that you can do that now.
and so well too,
Yeah.
to where we have to question it now.
Yeah.
When once upon a time, not even too long ago, like the Zack Snyder zombie one, where Tig Notaro replaced fucking creepy Delia, and you could tell. Like, it was done well, but if you understand like video and editing, or you've watched enough movies and got a keen eye, like something's not right here.
Yeah.
But with like Lizard and Sandman, with them not being there, was like no fucking way.
Yeah.
Maybe on a rewatch if we're looking for it. But.
Sure. Yeah.
But I thought that the person that at least stole the show for villain wise for me was Willem Dafoe, like as Green Goblin.
Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah. Because he's one.
Well, I mean, they even fixed the costume though. That was the cool part too.
No,
right?
yeah, they made him look dope. I mean, he's so good. I think for the most part, I liked it. I thought he was great. Obviously, Alfred Molina, that guy's a great actor. He really is. So he was phenomenal with it. I love so much that, like Electro, they're just like, he's handsome and charismatic now. Fucking deal with it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what else to tell you.
He's Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
What are you gonna do?
good luck with that.
Yeah.
So another thing plot-wise, this is really the one that, well, two things bothered me. So Peter wants to cure him, right? Because they didn't all necessarily know or were going to die. Right before, like, Electro was about to die, Doc Ock was about to die, the Goblin was about to die. So it's like, if he cures them and sends them back, if they go back to the same moment, they're just going to die without powers. Or do you think they just went back to modern time? And then what's that going to do? All of a sudden, fucking, what is Green Goblin's real name?
Norman Osborn.
Thank you. Jesus Christ. All of a sudden, Norman Osborn's back, what has it been, 25 years later?
Well, so the idea that I got from is that they were pulled at a very specific moment in time from
Vaguely.
their respective universes, and so they get put back to a spot that would change the turn of events. Like Spider-Man would be able to perceive that in the moment and to be like, "You're different. What's going on here?" I don't know that they would necessarily die.
Yeah, it's interesting, but in some cases, if that were the case, when was it where was Ock already underwater or close to underwater? Are you going to be able to stop that glider? Are you going to be able to stop that, giant electrical surge that evaporates Electro or whatever it is?
To the
It
point that
was.
it was pulled. So,
And that's one of those, this is why I'm bitching.
Yeah, it's like all for naught.
Right?
it allows them to flex.
Because of that,
die good
it gives
people.
a flexibility with that, or they all knew Peter Parker, or you were Peter Parker. Electro didn't know you were Peter Parker. You even talk about it at the end where he thought he was black, which was a great fucking moment. Okay, we talk about that. But so, I'm glad to have him back, but there was this weird lack of consistency throughout its own rules.
Well,
and it's like, establish your rules, but follow your own rules. Don't break your own rules.
But I think that it's almost too difficult to pull off in that particular sense as well, as you're pulling from 3 or 4 different universes.
You're asking too much.
Oh, yeah.
It's a huge ass.
So don't just which again is one of those things, but what they established and the follow through. Sometimes I was like, one of these things is not like
Which
the
is my
other.
biggest beef with Tom Holland Spider-Man. It's the trauma of Peter Parker isn't there. It's all fluff. When we said spoilers, right?
Oh yeah.
When Aunt May dies, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I just don't feel for Peter at all.
I did a little bit. I don't feel like as much as they wanted me to, though.
It was all fluff, dude.
Yeah.
That's Tom. He's growing up. I understand this franchise is him being a kid, and then he becomes whatever else, whatever they do with him.
Dude, yeah.
But with Andrew and Toby, I was like, I feel for these fuckers. But with Tom, I'm just like, do.
See, with Toby, I don't even know if I did, because he's got his moments, kind of his wisdom, but he's completely devoid of charm and charisma. He's so, but even in this one, although I did really like him as a more kind of mature Spider-Man, but then seeing those three together,
The youth pastor.
oh, that was funny. Andrew Garfield acts circles around those motherfuckers. Seeing him, and kind of to your point, that moment when he goes down and he saves MJ, kind of as his maybe slight redemption for Gwen dropping. Just that moment, he kind of takes his breath and gathers himself. I'm like, you just outacted anything these two has ever done,
Spider-Man
combined,
3.
put together,
Peter 3.
times 3.
Yeah.
He is. It fucking blew my mind. God damn. Watching actors in the MCU who as a whole are Adonis, good looking characters, but not necessarily the greatest actors, save maybe Robert Downey Jr.
Sure.
But then you put Andrew Garfield in there and you're like, he's outclassed.
So
All you bitches.
Agreed.
Andrew's my favorite Peter / Spider-Man. The second movie is kind of shit, but he's always been my fave, and I fought tooth and nail for so many years. And the people saw this movie, and they're like, "I love them," and I'm like, "Fuck you, I love them since 2012."
Dude, right. And no, I think we've agreed where I don't necessarily love him as Peter Parker, but when he's in the suit, his portrayal of him, his movement, his voice, his quippiness, that's how I've always read Spider-Man in my mind, or at least
Cleans
the closest
cobwebs.
to.
Yeah.
So I really enjoy him as
They
Spider-Man.
kind of gave him the scenes though. I mean, he cleaned Ned's grandmother's cobwebs,
Fuck,
and
that was funny. Fuck, that was funny.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just gonna say the part that really sells me on Andrew Garfield as Peter Parker is that he definitely has the background, even within his own universe, in first two movies, that he's not given everything. Like, he is, kind of the everyman, which is what Spider-Man is. The new what's his name? Tom Holland as Peter Parker, he's basically like given the keys to Tony Stark's kingdom, and he's like just a little rich kid, right? He hasn't earned anything, and if this movie hopefully sets that back, if they decide to continue with the character as that, where he's now poor, nobody remembers him, he's living on his own.
You finally feel for him.
You finally have that origin story where it's like, okay, yeah, they finally brought back the character of Peter Parker back where it needs to be. So I was really happy about that.
I agree. I totally agree with that. Like, I like Tom Holland as Spider-Man, and I think from a young standpoint, he does great. He's got a good look for it.
He's just ugly enough to be Spider-Man.
I wish I was that ugly.
It's that Hollywood hair. Yeah.
His physicality is phenomenal. He looks like Spider-Man. He can do the accent pretty well, which is one thing Andrew and Toby missed off on. So I'm convinced this kid's actually, from Queens and stuff, where I wasn't before. And then, I'm excited to see where it goes forward. But,
I guess to finish on Andrew, that line when he was like,
Andrew.
Dude, he can finish on me. That line when he was like, I stopped pulling my punches. I was like, oh.
Show me that movie.
I want to see exactly. Yeah. I wanted to see that Spider-Man.
I understand why they didn't tease things more, but I really wish they did. Or if they did, like with their end credit scenes instead of that Venom shit. Because again, I didn't really fucking care for it, even though Danny Rojas. I would have much rather preferred them back into their own universe. Like, give us some teasers. Let's see maybe what you can hit. Like, what are they like after it, and then see if we could expand something going forward. Because apparently I was listening to another podcast, they're going to do a Secret War storyline. Movie is apparently their next one. Interesting. Idea, and, Andrew and Toby are both supposed to be in that one too.
Yeah, it makes sense based on where Nick Fury's currently at. But
yeah. Hopefully they just make it good, because the Secret War storyline is just a shit excuse to sell toys. It's not a good storyline.
No.
But cool costumes and stuff.
Agreed. Yeah. No, this movie was great. Like, and just literally see the interplay between Toby and Andrew and fucking Tom. I think that was some of the greatest parts of the film, like, that I didn't know that I needed, but I needed.
Right. Like, ridiculous fan service, but done to perfection.
Talking about like the web shooters and stuff.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Where's that come from?
The pointing, like the meme fulfillment that we got,
Yeah.
the web shooters, how Toby can call him amazing, and it should be cheesy, but it works so well.
Dude, that was one of the greatest parts of the movie.
I got these back problems from all my swinging. Oh, do you want me to pop your back?
the
I
lower
fucking
thing. Yeah.
love that,
So
dude.
good.
So
Yeah.
there were, like I said, there was some silliness to it, but overall, I fucking
Wonderful.
adored this movie. And
Wonderful.
apparently, it's the highest rated movie ever on Rotten Tomatoes from an audience standpoint
Good for that,
at
man.
99%.
It's great.
See, I was thinking about that, and if it didn't have Toby and Andrew, it would not be.
No.
No, it would
They
not.
for
Absolutely
me, They
not.
saved the movie for me, at least.
Yeah.
Well, no, I totally agree. Like, if we went into this and we didn't get, like, the expectations were so high for this movie, there's no way they would have been fulfilled without Toby and Andrew. Absolutely not.
Well, this is kind of taking, comic book movies in a direction that has never happened before, because this is 20 years of nostalgia, with multiple different studios and actors kind of coming together to finally, and even in a way, kind of retcon and fix some of those old characters that were kind of broken. Like the fact that, what was it? 3 out of the 5 villains that are Spider-Man faced, and I guess you could count Venom as 4 out of the 6 over all those movies. That 4 out of 6 of them died. Like, Spider-Man isn't a person who kills his villains, and that was how they just chose to wrap up those storylines. Yeah, Venom got blown up, and I mean Sandman blew away into the dust, but Electro, they killed him, and Green Goblin, they killed him, and what was the other one?
Otto.
That I'm thinking.
Dr.
Otto Octavius. Yeah, he also died. So I don't know. It's very interesting to me.
Well, that's always been such a bullshit trope with Hollywood, is we don't know how to end it or what we're going to do, so
Might as well
someone's
just
got
have
to
'em-
fall to their death.
Yeah, fall to their death. Exactly.
it's
The,
a
the
thing.
Disney villain ending.
All right. Let's take a quick break and come back and drink an Idaho beer.
Love it.
We got lots in there. We're gonna have to go a little bit quicker. Yeah. On this next one.
That's why I tapped you.
In between beer.
Oh, that's still beer in there. Empty. Yeah, there's still beer in there. Okay.
Cups.
Hey, babes, you want to get out of here? You want to stay in here? You do you.
Grab that.
You want to get out of here? You want to stay in here? What are you going to do?
No, I partially tore all the ligaments during my accident.
Oh, yeah,
I
okay.
didn't know about it until I got the
MRI.
results of the MRI back.
No.
So I've been like doing physical therapy, which is like meant to like pull and stress and everything on the ligaments, and they've been like all messed up this whole time.
MR or X-rays don't show ligament damage.
No, they don't. MRIs do though, and well, it's immediately canceled like 2 months of my physical therapy that I've been doing.
Oh, shitty.
So just to try and let it heal up a little bit more, recover, so that way the pain stops. But
I'm sorry.
yeah,
Yeah.
I lifted a bunch of crap today, trying to get it up into boxes. Just putting Christmas stuff away. It's just sore. That's all.
It's because
hurts.
it's all torn and busted. so
Yeah,
it's-
that explains it, right?
yeah.
Ice and Advil.
Shit. Or
That's all you can do.
I just still don't know how you don't have
Beer
a
and
chance
heat.
settlement out of that. That's intense, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. I gotta lawyer up for that shit. So
I gotcha. Yeah.
it's a bunch of bullshit.
Well, sooner you do it.
Hmm.
Sooner you do it. Sooner it's over with.
Mm-hmm.
And the better your case stays, too. Well, why'd you wait 5 years to do this?
True.
I'm a white man.
'Cause I'm a white man.
Wow.
Gotta
Oh, I heard
sing
a-
it like you're in Leonard Skinner.
'Cause I'm a white man.
I heard one of my friends at work. He's Mexican. He comes up to me. He says, what do you call a Mexican who flies a plane? A pilot, you racist bastard. It's like,
Man.
oh gosh.
I just listened to this podcast. It was Chris Hardwick and Ron Funches. And Chris Hardwick always starts his podcast where it's like conversational and you just kind of walk into it. But you can hear him kind of playing these chords on the acoustic guitar, and then Ron walks in. Oh, hey, Ron, how's it going? Well, fine, until I walk in on my least favorite thing in the world, which is a white man playing the acoustic guitar. With pure, like, 100% sincerity.
dead
like,
Yeah.
it's like after Chris Hardwick stops laughing like 3 minutes later, you're just like, I just want to sing about my feelings. Funny.
Stupid.
Oh.
Stupid.
I just loved, because I just imagine the look on his face, just like, fucking come on. I thought this was a podcast. Put your goddamn guitar down.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, count me in.
3, 2.
All right. Let's drink our Idaho beer. So this is from our friends over at Edge Brewing. This is a seasonal one, and it is a big boy. This is, of course, their winter, because, like we said up top, that's the theme of the fucking episode. So pay attention. Sorry. This is the, again, Watchtower American Black Ale. Coming in 9.5%.
Good old ABA.
9.5, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. Dang.
Yeah, so this is a bold motherfucker.
Shut your mouth.
So we had a little bit of trouble finding this on Untapped anyways. It seems that Edge has kind of been making little different variants under the Watchtower name each winter. And so, like most seasonal beers, the recipe and everything can change. So it started out as a just a regular oatmeal stout, and then it became a chili cocoa stout. And then I guess last year, or the most recent version that we can find on Untapped, was a Baltic Porter. So now this version is an American black ale.
Yeah. If you scan because on Untapped, if you're using your phone, you can scan the barcode and it'll pull up the beer for you. It gives you the Baltic Porter. So
Yeah.
who knows? Either way.
But we're getting the most recent, latest, bestest version here to try out and let you all know about.
And ultimately, as you guys know, this essentially, our opinion matters way more than Untapped's anyways.
Yes,
So
100%.
that's why we're here.
That's why we have all of our beer ratings out on our website, brewnomics.beer. Go
Dot
check it out.
butts.
Hmm?
Said dot butts.
A lot of dots in there.
That's the
Brewnomic
only
beers
thing.
dot butts. Oh, that's right.
Yeah. You can promote that if you want. It's fine.
All right. What do you guys think? Smell, taste.
Well, the smell is like super interesting, like right off
Yeah.
the bat.
It is.
Weird.
I can't quite pinpoint
It's
it.
like it's a salty, caramelly sort of like a dark chocolate salted caramel treat is what I'm getting, with a little bit of raspberry off the nose.
Raspberry.
Yeah, like some kind of plum or something off the nose.
You get that from the smell.
Yeah, on the
Just the smell.
can, we can get a little bit of an idea. Hops, we have Chinook and Mount Hood. And then malts, we have Pale, Rye, Carafa, Caramunic, and Vienna. A lot of malts in this
Man,
one.
I nailed it too. That's good. I didn't even look at that.
Because everything Vic said, I agree with when I taste it. But from the smell, I don't get a lot from the smell.
Oh yeah, it smells just like it tastes to me. Interesting.
It's very good. It's a big boy beer.
Yes, it is.
Like, you have to have your big boy pants on to drink this beer.
Gotta cinch him up
It's
tight.
not a beginner's beer.
This is not a beginner's beer. But if you're an experienced beer drinker, like, this is kind of like the Betty, but sweeter,
Yeah.
Yeah.
colder, like almost like this one. It's not cold. I don't know what the temperature is on this one, but it almost gives you that like fun little shiver after the drink, where the Betty warms you up. Like, this one's meant to be drinking outside in a snowy day.
Okay.
I can see that.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm explaining that how I want to.
No. Because when you said chili, I got that from like the taste in my tongue, right? And then when you kind of shook, and I was like, I totally get that.
Huh.
It's a shiver.
Yeah, but no, like in a fun way though. Like, it's good.
It's almost like goosebumps.
Yeah, it's a good thing, but
When I scanned this with our little digital thermometer, it came in at 49 degrees. Temperature is roughly what we're drinking it.
pretty much what I'm getting to.
Yeah, but no, I can kind of understand that. It has that almost winter-esque where yeah, if you were to compare it to the Betty, going back a couple episodes ago, the Betty, it was definitely way more like, it had that bourbon-ish flavor to it. You could definitely tell it was aged, and it had more like that high ABV. This doesn't have that high ABV like burn to it.
Yeah, you don't get the fuselness to it.
Yeah, but at the same time, it is definitely something. Yeah, you'd want to be drinking outside. I don't even think I'd want to drink this next to a fire.
Oh, I was talking to Jess about that. How I really want to just, when it was snowing really hard, I was
Yeah.
like, because I don't have a fire pit. And I was like, I just want to sit next to a fire pit with these giant ass flakes and drink a delicious dark beer.
You could be next to a fire outside. I'm not
Yeah.
saying like inside.
That's
and cozy in
That's
a
what I'm
fire.
saying, because we're talking about if you want to do that, would to me be the perfect environment for this.
Yeah.
100%. I get like this weird, and I'm not describing it really well, but this is like the first like feeling that I get too, which is like a yogurty quality, in the sense that I get sort of like a creamy, like almost sort of sour. Like
I'm
pick up what I'm looking at?
1,000%.
All right, thank
I
you.
absolutely agree with you.
Thank you for identifying
Because I
that.
was kind of thinking, and again, this sounds negative with the beer, but I don't mean
It's
it to
not.
be that
It's
way.
not, yeah.
Like the feeling of a deviled egg,
Yes.
kind of smell and taste wise. But it's not off-putting.
It's not off-putting. Yeah, like yeah.
It's weird.
It's really strange. It's like I think because the tail end you get this spicy element to it, which I think is what that
Little paprika.
Yeah, it washes back though. Like, from the swallow, it comes back to the tip of your tongue. It just washes back, and that's why that taste of
Yeah.
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 deviled egg you're saying.
But I enjoy this, especially at
too.
9.5%. It's dangerous. I don't know if I would tap it, just because it would take me a while to get through, and I don't have visitors that often anymore, unless it's you guys. I will say I'll give this beer a 4. I think it's phenomenal, but I don't know if I'd tap it. I'm gonna have to say no.
Yeah.
Just because, if anything, I would drink way too much of this, and it would make myself sick.
This is not a keg beer
No.
or a mini keg or whatever.
I'm not tapping it. I'm out, I think, a little bit on my rating still, but I'm not tapping it.
Okay.
So I don't think it's going to get tapped.
What's your rating?
I just told you I'm out on it a little bit. I need a little more time.
Oh.
Whenever you made such a big deal out of it, I was like, "What wants attention? You can
Goodness.
fucking get it."
When I speak, people listen. I don't know what to tell you. Okay.
We're still waiting on this fucking answer too. That's the thing with this guy.
3.25 if I'm rushed.
This is not a tap. Yeah, this is not a tap beer. This is definitely like a bomber or two type of beer.
can
You
see
know,
that,
bring
yeah.
it to the house
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
3.75. It's still
Okay.
a good beer. Still a good beer.
Yeah,
It's definitely
absolutely.
worthy of trying.
It's a very good beer, and I think you should try it, and I think you should get a 6-pack of it. Because I got a 6-pack of it, so, you know. But like a big kegger.
How much was it?
Not bad at all. I want to say it was like $9.
Really?
$9.
Yeah.
Damn,
N-
dude.
9,
'Cause
maybe
that regular's
$10
like
bucks.
$10, $12.
I got it at the Fancy Albertsons downtown,
Wow.
the Broadway one,
Okay.
which
they do
is
have good deals over
yeah.
there. Yeah.
I wonder size wise what this one and the one across from the Village are like overall when it comes to biggest grocery stores in the United States.
Dude, yeah, that
Because they're fucking massive.
They are massive.
that Albies off Eagle is huge.
It's 50 square feet larger.
That's
They want it, yeah. I was talking to
Seems
one
like
of the
it's more.
like the GMs, one of my customers when I worked for T-Mobile, and they were talking about the build of it, and they're like they wanted it to be the largest, so it's literally 50 square feet larger,
so stupid. But
maybe 500.
it feels
Either
larger
way.
than the Broadway.
Yeah,
By far.
And even that
I
one
don't
is
know why.
still like 2 Albertsons like put together. I mean, there's an upstairs to this place, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, they're both fucking
It's
ridiculous.
absurd.
Dumb.
I randomly fell on a YouTube video of like this travel vlogger, and he came to Boise to visit some friends, and he went to the Albertsons on Eagle, and he was like, because he's from like the East Coast, and he was like, "What the fuck is this?"
I bet, dude.
Middle
Especially
America,
because no, not even from the East Coast, because
Oh,
everything's so tiny and tall and
Oh,
cramped
yeah.
there. So to probably see something so massive and spread,
It's got to be
like
weird.
when I went to Baltimore and how tightly packed their houses are, and like in Idaho, we don't
Yeah.
take advantage of how much land you can get with your property.
Everyone's got damn near 2 acres to themselves. Jeez.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Where I live right now would be 16 houses in Baltimore.
Oh, probably.
Oh my gosh.
All, like,
That
go
yard
straight
gone.
up. Yeah. Like, you can't have a yard there.
No. Your yard is your front stoop.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it is.
Exactly. You get a garden box.
Huh? You want to grow something? Okay. It's on the roof in a communal garden.
Did you rate it, Vic?
No, sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna go 3.75. This is a quality beverage, but definitely not something that I would tap just because of the heaviness to it and the heft to it. But it's definitely a quality beer.
Go drink it. Go
Yeah.
go try it out while you can
Yeah.
get it, and enjoy it. All right. Any final thoughts on Spider-Man? No Way Home.
No Way Home.
I think his costume is too sparkly. Maybe that was just like the lighting and
Who
the.
do you think has the best costume and why from the Spider-Mans?
Dude, I'm still
live
a
actions?
Garfield. I'm
Garfield.
number
Yeah.
one. The first movie on Garfield, not the second one, because I like that he took like sunglasses, like and put in his mask, and he has like boots.
Yeah.
I
And
think
I like
Andrew
the line.
Garfield's far and above is the best. From the way it looks, like it looks
first or second?
homemade, but the first one. No, I agree.
cool.
But even that, I was watching a VFX artist react, and they made up a really good point of even when he's swinging, when you see that back body shot, it looks like you can see the wind moving it. You can see silly things like the outline of his boxer briefs and shit like that. Like it looks like a real fucking Spider-Man costume. I love the look of the Tobey Maguire ones. That's almost my biggest gripe about the Tom Holland ones is the suits are all too shiny and slick. Like I know he gets a lot, and maybe that's part of it with some of them being made by Iron Man, but like even the one he made, I'm just like,
The biggest thing that I like about the Tom Holland suit is the eyes. I'm so glad that they used like the camera focal aperture lens.
That's pretty
things.
cool.
That is
That's
the
pretty
one.
dope,
That is
yeah.
the one takeaway that I feel like is the best part about it. The rest is kind of
Yeah.
But yeah, Andrews is probably.
I read this
where I
article
like
today that was talking about Tom Holland and Andrew Garfield comparing their Spider-Man suits. And Andrew Garfield, he had to drink everything like through like his eye hole. So he'd have to get like a really long straw and like bend it down, put it in his mouth, and to do that. And like going to the bathroom was a whole motherfucker.
Oh, that was Tom
That was Tom
Holland.
Or
Holland.
excuse me, Tom Holland.
Okay.
And Andrew was complaining to Andrew Garfield about that, and he was like, "Yeah, they made mine with zippers. It was great. Everything was so easy." Like,
Well, I think,
oh, come on.
I think Andrew has the best web swinging out of all the Spider-Men.
Yes,
Like
I
that
would agree.
POV point of view
Mm-hmm.
changed my world.
No, you're 100%
Well,
right on
dude,
that.
honestly, one of my favorite parts of the second one opening up is when you see Andrew Garfield just flying in from above that POV shot, right? Like just the way his suit is flapping, just gentle. That's why that suit like sells it for me right there. Number
Agreed.
one.
But either way, both of them are better. Toby and Andrew far better than any of the ones they've had.
I feel like the Iron Spider was what really kind of ruined it.
I mean,
It's just
I didn't ruin it. I mean, that's dope as shit.
It looks
You
cool.
kill 'em.
I
They're-
like the Iron Spider.
They're just too. They're
Okay,
too.
maybe I'm wrong.
They're
I
too
don't know.
slick. They're too. It like it clearly looks CGI.
well, yeah,
to me,
it's,
you
it's
can- Nanites and
clearly a
whatever.
creation of Tony Stark, which is fine. but
Yeah.
it is
You can't
what
beat
it
an
is.
instant kill. That's
No.
dope as shit.
True.
It's the
True.
dopest dope ever. But yeah.
Dopest dope I ever smoked.
So ending wise, what'd you guys say? So like the memory wipe spell.
Yeah.
How good is this spell? Like, does it wipe computer and phone memory too? Digital memory? All the fucking videos J. Jonah Jameson sent out? All the pictures Tom or fucking Spider-Man and MJ or Ted and Ned, excuse me. Thank you. Ned and Peter, all their photos together, so they've been friends since the 5th grade. Like, some things kind of make sense, but like the digital footprint in a world like this, I mean, Doctor Strange is very powerful.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even consider the digital footprint aspect to it, but it seems
That was the first thing I thought. It was like that fucking 3,000 long text message thread that you have on your phone.
yeah.
Well, that's the thing, though. That's what I was complaining about beforehand, which is it's the MCU, and it's just fluff, and then you take it as it is.
Yeah, which
it
you
is what
have
it
to,
is.
but it's hard for me to do that sometimes.
And that's my whole thing. That's my whole gripe with Tom Holland and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It's like, it is what it is.
Yeah. Welcome to comic books, right? We've read enough comic books. We kind of even know how
There's
that-
more story in comic books than there is in the MCU.
I mean, this is
It depends on the comic book.
this is probably like if you really think about it, it's probably the first major kind of retcon of the MCU, in that they're kind of rebooting that part of it.
Yeah,
They're rebooting the Peter Parker part of it, not the Spider-Man part.
I almost thought when they did that they were going to do it as a wipe and pull him, use it as an excuse just to pull him out of the MCU altogether.
That's what I thought too.
But with the post-credit scene, it's clearly pulling Venom into the MCU.
Yeah.
Which I'm wondering how they're going to do that and who it's going to be, because it's apparently not going to be.
Tom
From the
Hardy.
looks of this, it's not going to be Tom Hardy. I don't want this
I'm gonna
fucking.
guess that they wait on it a long time.
See kind of what happens. Right? Who knows? I don't want it to be this Flash Thompson. That's all I know, because that guy fucking sucks.
He sucks.
Sucks.
He sucks.
Hard. What's his name?
Tony Revolori.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah, that guy's
Tony
a
Revolori.
chump.
Yeah, I don't like him.
Unless instead of, if Ned gets, what if it's Ned? Everybody thinks he's going to be the Hobgoblin because that's his character in the comic books. Not he Venom.
Ned Leeds.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Oh, you didn't know that? Ned Leeds is the third Hobgoblin.
Oh, okay. I'm mostly familiar with the second.
Yeah. Okay. Right there behind you.
Yep.
No, that's the Green Goblin.
No, the
No,
pumpkin.
yeah,
That's the Hobgoblin. He has the
Yeah.
pumpkins. They look very similar.
gotcha.
Okay, doke.
Yeah, in the
Oh,
90s.
sorry.
I think
Maybe
he had the-
I'm wrong.
I think you're wrong.
They look the exact.
I think he had the orange.
Yeah. He had the orange
Mm-hmm.
jacket, and he was more of a yellow skin goblin, from what I remember.
Yeah. I was too busy knob goblin, so
Talking about jacking off?
yes. You either get it or you don't.
Dick in mouth.
Yeah.
Jumped up a notch.
Vic got it.
Sorry.
Didn't think we were going to go there. We went there.
I felt like I had to spell it out.
So yeah, we'll see how that goes. And I don't know. I'm sure there are other things I have to say about this movie, but I'm about.
I know you're about
I'm
tapped
over it.
out.
Don't really care anymore.
What about the Doctor Strange, though? That fight was cool.
It was very cool, and I love that Peter solved it with fucking
Math.
geometry
Yeah.
too, especially because Vic and I met in geometry class. And
It's a true story. And I was thinking the same thing the whole time. I was like, this is straight up geometry. Like, what's going on here? Like, that's a radial, it's a fractal. And then he's like, oh, yeah, this is Archimedes fucking infinite. I was like, oh,
but that was one thing I actually did like about this
Dr.
movie
Strange
a
is
lot.
like, I'm not liking that.
Although it also reminds me of that moment in Civil War where Tony Stark was like, "Trust me, kid. If he wanted to put you down, he'd have
would.
put you down."
Yeah.
If Doctor Strange wanted to
to
really put him down, he'd have been down. Especially these two iterations.
He was being nice about it. Yeah. Just give it to him.
But that's been one problem I've had with the MCU Spider-Man is they didn't like when you get iterations of he's smart, but not like Peter Parker is fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
That's one of the things about him, well beyond his, radioactive spider abilities. He was brilliant before that, like truly a brilliant scientific mind.
Mm-hmm.
We saw that with Toby, and it kind of grew a little bit. We really saw that with Andrew. Which was one of the things I really liked about his Peter Parker aspect was he was very scientific. We didn't really get that with Tom until this one.
True.
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I didn't see him really use math or get excited about science.
Well,
a little bit.
You can see it a little bit in Far From Home when he's creating his new costume on the plane with Happy, because he's just kind of going through his like little savant sort of deal. But I mean, that's kind of it as far as I can really tell.
It comes from the theory of that these home movies are him still growing up. He's in high school, yada yada yada. And that's why with No Way Home, when he meets the other Spider-Man, he didn't have his Uncle Ben. There was no great speech. There was no you should always do the right thing, Peter.
that with great
Exactly.
great power comes great responsibility from Aunt May.
And so he's still just a kid. He learns from the Spider-Man. He didn't learn from his Uncle Ben, obviously, because the theory is he died in 2012 Avengers.
Is
but
it?
that's the thing,
I was kind of wondering.
I wasn't sure about that one.
That's he grew up in this movie as opposed to all the other movies.
Yeah.
He's
This
still
is his
a kid.
coming of age,
Yeah.
almost.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I guess because. Yeah, I would agree with that. I was like a little bit in the last one, just kind of the having to grow from the death of Tony Stark, but that was still didn't quite have a lot of emotional growth in that.
I'm gonna give Mysterio this whole army.
Yeah, that was a dumb mistake. Again, you're supposed to be smart, Peter.
I'm a kid.
I'm a kid.
I'm a kid
Made
who just wants to get laid and fucking save the world.
There's a reason why if you play D&D, there's separate stats for intelligence and wisdom.
Also true. Yeah.
Blew my nerd score out of the water right there. Okay, good job.
Anybody else? Be cool.
We're good.
You coming?
We're good.
I can smell this beer from here, and it is pungent.
This is the final beer of the night. It is Fremont Winter Ale, an Imperial Winter Ale, coming in at a nice even 8%. You gotta snuggle up to it.
Fremont's over in Seattle, and Untapped reads, "This is a tasty winter ale to snuggle up to, released for the winter months when snow blankets the terrain of the mind and the body craves warmth, and, let's be honest, it's dark and wet most of the time, so your beer better be damn good. Winter ale is dark like the weather with roast chocolate and warm malt flavors, balanced by noble hop aroma and subtle hoppy spice. Warm up to it, because beer matters." So, I don't know. Fremont does good stuff. I haven't really tried this yet. What do you guys think? Vic, PK?
I would say it's another big boy beer.
Oh yeah.
As a whole, I think Imperials are definitely... This was a big boy night. Fuck it was, man. 7.2, 6.8, 9.5, and 8%. As an average, this has to be one of the higher ABV episodes we've had. And my face is warm and suggests such. And it's lovely.
Oh, man.
Truly lovely.
This beer is lovely. This is one that it's a little bit more expensive. I can't remember exactly what it is, but I always gotta grab one. This one?
I think so. I think I paid $4.50 for it.
I bought a few of them this year.
Okay.
And I think what happened was I bought it, then you brought some over and bought it, and I took mine over to my brother
think
Paul's
that's what
house and
happened. I
drank
think
him
you're
with
absolutely
it. Or drank it with him.
I think you're absolutely right.
Who knows? And there's so many times, especially with this Watchtower, Will and I were like, yeah, we brought this beer for the show. Yeah, I got that one too.
Yep.
It's funny.
We double
it's
up
wonderful.
a lot. It's great minds think alike.
Mm-hmm. And we're starting to run out of beer. There needs to be more. We've drank so much of it. But this beer is a great one. It's one every winter I look forward to. I've had it about 5 years in a row, and I've loved every variant of it.
Yeah, I like this one a little bit better than the Watchtower, personally.
Well, I think at 8% versus the 9.5%, it's also a little bit more drinkable.
Yeah. There's a little more winter spice to this one, it feels like, you know.
Yeah, that's what I thought was in. I agree. The Watchtower American Black Ale, in this case, a very good beer. I don't know what's seasonal about it, honestly.
Other than it's kind of fits winter.
Because it's dark and heavy?
Yeah.
Which always works during the winter, but there's no like winter spice or flavoring to it.
Exactly.
This is a winter beer.
Uh-huh.
And it's a phenomenal winter beer. I'm just feeling the force tonight, I guess. But it's not the case, but I could see myself tapping this one. Like I could see through it, because you think a keg's going to last you 2 months or at least, drinking a nice little mini keg of this over 2 months pretty easily and enjoyably.
I'd tap it.
Are you all fours, Jerry?
He is 3.544.
Close.
Okay, I heard
Close.
all fours.
I
I was
know.
like, you just
I almost pulled a paw.
being loose there, buddy.
I know. I like it.
Sixes and sevens.
Of it being an 8% ABV as opposed to the other one, what was this? The winter.
The American
The
Black
Watchtower.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I smell the alcohol on this from like a mile away.
Do you?
Yeah.
Mm.
Very fusel.
Very prominent, yes.
Oh yeah, yeah. Just big whiff. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you can smell. But do you taste it?
I do, and I love it. I think that just comes from the seasoned drinking of ours. Like
Big
we
boy
just,
beer.
We just like this type of
Yeah.
beer. It sits well on the palate. It doesn't linger. I like the lacing on it when it goes away. It's very pretty. 4.0.
Yeah. I say I know mine are all like 4.375 or whatever, but I said it before and I'll say it again. This is my favorite type of beer. Just winter beer in general. Worse for the waistline. Best tasting though.
That's how it always works.
Give and
right?
take, really.
Yeah, it's a give and take. Yeah.
Vic, what do you got?
No, for all those reasons, yeah, I would agree with that. PK, man, this is definitely a 4. The lacing's nice, the quality's good. I like the dark quality to it. It just comes and goes as it pleases. Yeah, it's a 4 for me easily. Cool.
Well, you guys have basically said everything that I was already going to say. Yeah, this is 4.25 for me. I love this beer. This is great. It probably ties. Like if I could go back and change my rating on the Burr, I'd say they're probably equal.
Okay.
But yeah, it's great. It's right up there. This is wonderful. I like it, and all of us rated it 4 or higher. So both this and the Burr are Brewnomics recommended beers.
Right on.
I get people who listen to the show and they tell me that they listen to it. Like, I agree with you what you said. And I was like, what did I say? What was I talking about? On anything. Like, what was I talking about?
I don't know, but I agree.
Yeah.
I'm sure I agree, I suppose. Maybe at that time I agreed, Later on, I'm like, no, you're wrong. I was wrong. We're wrong.
Oh, I've definitely listened because I listened to every one of these episodes. Because 1, I edit them, and 2, I just want to see what we can do to make the podcast better, what we need to change, what I need to do to make myself better. And there are times where I said something like, well, that was stupid. Don't agree with that, self. Or it's like, oh, that's not right. Am I going to have to correct that? I hope nobody gets mad, yells at me for it.
I'm just going to put white noise in this. I think
Whoops.
an airplane flew by. Someone's just mowing the lawn.
Right, just have Evie and Daisy just barking. Oh, damn it, dogs!
You should put a random, demonic, listen to Brewnomics.
There we go. We need a hacker to subtly put that into other podcasts we think have similar demographics to ours.
There you go.
There you go.
Probably wouldn't be that difficult.
But overall, did you enjoy the Spittermans? You gonna watch it again?
Oh, I'd totally watch it again.
I watch it for free again. I'm not going to pay to watch it.
I would pay to watch it again on a cheap Tuesday But no, it's one. I don't buy a lot of movies anymore, just because streaming services, you just pay for that and you get all of them. But if it weren't for streaming services, I would fucking buy this the day it came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And put it in my collection. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, I definitely had gripes with it. You know,
I feel
you heard
like
me.
I'm just out of like the
but-
group though when it comes to it. But
Yeah, but I also love. I genuinely love Spider-Man. Even Spider-Man at its worst for me is still. I'm like, fucking give it to me.
the
That's
Japanese Spider-Man with the mech.
We'll take it.
And that's why
Yes.
I even still tolerate these Venom ones, because everything's Spider-Man related. It's one of my favorite franchises, especially comic books. Love the villains, love the spin-offs, love how they, turn Venom from a villain to an anti-hero, even Carnage at some points. That just one of the most well-written comic book characters, and also worse. Depends on which one you get, but overall, really good things. There's a reason Spider-Man's the number one selling comic book character of all time. Even above you, Batman. Suck it, Bruce Wayne.
You see that meme where it's like it's Spider-Man, Superman, and Batman, and there's a question. It's like, why do you guys only get the ones with the reboots? No one else has touched or been done.
Well, they're definitely the most popular.
Most definitely
Yeah.
popular.
And I think that's clearly starting to change. But there will always be Superman, Batman,
And
and
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man movies. Guaranteed. Holy Trinity of comic books right there.
Yep.
Yeah. Anything else good for the people?
Go watch it.
Yeah. All right. Let's wrap it up. Well, again, thanks for listening, making us part of your day. We really appreciate it. Check out the website, brewnomics.beer. Follow us on all things social media at Brewnomics. Be good to each other. Drink good beer. Rate and review the podcast if you can. And I know you can. So I know you're going to do it.
Yeah, go tell a friend. Word of mouth
Yeah.
actually works best. So, yeah. Just, hey, I listen to this thing. It's hilarious.
Tell your coworkers.
Yeah.
Yeah, your favorite coworker. Tell them. It's like we're work friends. Maybe workplace acquaintances. They'll enjoy it.
Come
We'll
see a
enjoy
side
it.
of me that, isn't with a tie on. Right?
Yeah.
Guess if you work at a place that requires a tie,
Yeah.
none of us do. You can wear them if you
Well,
want,
No jacket.
but it doesn't
Yeah,
require.
no jacket
It's not
required.
required.
Not at our places of employment.
Ties
But
sometimes are required. Sometimes.
Mine would be weird if I wore a tie.
they would think you were a Mormon or something
the
coming
fuck
up.
is happening?
knocking on their door, delivering a package.
All right.
I'm here to talk to you about Jim Jones.
But again, most importantly, be good to each other. Buy a friend or a workplace acquaintance a beer. Share Brewnomics. I'm Jerry.
Stay curious. I'm William.
I'm Vic.
I am Richard Mancock.
See you. Cheers.
Ooh. 7:20, motherfuckers. This is usually when we get started.
I know.
Which is
Power source powered after charging on hold. What the fuck?
what?
I guess I could click charge to full now. Whatever. It basically just means that it's not charging, but the battery, but it's not. It's turned the battery off because it's plugged in.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
yeah, I don't know. I guess it's supposed to make the battery last longer or something.
It just it somehow has a digital switch to bypass the battery. That's
Yeah.
cool.
It's actually kind of dope now that I think
Yeah.
about it.
No, it's pretty cool.
Better than ended up with like a bloated battery that blows your keyboard straight out of the thing.
Yeah. Well, I've been lucky enough. I've owned laptops for like 30 years. And
Oh, and you've never had that?
I've never had a bad
Oh.
Especially like with I've had nothing but HPs. They've all been. Actually, I've took a few, but they've all been pretty solid. Never blew a battery. They've all lasted like over 5 years too. Take care of my shiznits.
Mm-hmm. That was a good beer. You don't mind? Gracias. Some Smash Brothers shit. Oh.
That smells like BL in here.
It does now? Is that me?
I think it's just all of us.
Like, I don't have like BO.
I don't know if it's really. I think it's just like heat. You know.
It's just the man
Yeah.
musk.